Right now, flags are at half-staff as Milwaukee honors an officer killed in what some consider an ambush.
Plus, a serious hit and run involving 3 children. How you can help Iowa County officers.
And forward Madison set to share the league with a historic American team. Find out which one.
Well, good morning, and thanks for tuning in this morning to News 3 Now. I'm Michelle Renee Quinn, alongside Jacob Montesano. It's an alert day.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing that, but we also had some storms yesterday as well.
Yes, we did. We're seeing some damage from those storms. They moved through southern Wisconsin.
Yeah, last night there were severe thunderstorm warnings in Jefferson and Dane counties, and we also saw just plenty of rain as well on top of the severe weather.
Yeah, some pretty impressive rainfall totals that you're going to get to in just a moment. First, this video here from Wanakee where a big tree fell onto a house. Nobody was hurt. The roof, though, has quite a bit of damage to it. You can see branches on the ground as the storm pushed through this Wanakee neighborhood yesterday there, Jacob.
I know I was driving up from the Rockford area back over to Madison, and there was a giant crack of lightning and the loudest boom, so I assume something of this nature could have happened down there.
When I was looking out the window of my apartment, the clouds definitely looked very nasty, and that brought in plenty of rainfall to our area. In fact, we saw just about 2 inches of rainfall fall in just 1 hour, which broke the previous record for July 10th. Now, we're not done with the severe weather, as we could see some severe weather today. Another alert days in the forecast. Strong winds, hail, maybe even an isolated tornado or two, mainly for Madison and places south, and this is mostly going to be for the afternoon and evening hours. Locations north of Madison, unlikely to see any severe weather today. Now, right now, we are seeing some shower activity, mainly in southwest Wisconsin. But for the most part, we're not going to see anything too dramatic over the next couple of hours, but some showers may continue for parts of the area and maybe a few isolated non-severe thunderstorms. But once we get to around 1 to 2 p.m., we'll start to see those showers and storms move into southwest Wisconsin and continue to push off to the east and northeast from there. The most likely time frame for the severe weather looks to be around 4 to 7 p.m. And again, especially for areas near the Illinois border. So for those of you in Greene and Rock counties, you folks have the best chance to see these strong storms. Janesville, Beloit, storms are likely at times, and we could see some strong winds, some hail, maybe even a few isolated tornadoes with these storms. So I'll continue tracking them after the break. But again, I advise everyone during this time frame to stay tuned to News 3 Now for live updates.
Absolutely, and they can do that by staying on top of the alert conditions with the free First Warn Weather app. Find that wherever you get your apps.
All across the state today, flags will fly at half-staff to honor the Milwaukee police officer killed in the line of duty.
Hundreds of law enforcement from across the country are set to attend the funeral today of Officer Kendall Corder. The 32-year-old died last month while responding to a call in what witnesses describe as an ambush. Another officer is still recovering from his injuries.
The 22-year-old suspect, Tremaine Jones, faces several charges, including first-degree intentional homicide. His preliminary hearing is set for July 18th.
A serious hit-and-run crash sent 1 adult and 3 children to the hospital. The Iowa County Sheriff's Office needs your help in finding information. Now, this happened around this area here. You can see US 151. Now, the children inside this van were all under the age of 5. Police say that the witnesses said a flatbed truck hit a silver van. Now, all 4 of the people inside this vehicle were taken to the hospital and have been released. Anyone with information is being asked to call the number on your screen now and hit extension 2. That's 608-930-9500.
SSM Health's urgent care clinics in Wisconsin are seeing more cases of tick bites. Last month, they saw more than 3 times as many tick bites as they did in June of 2024. Last year, SSM's urgent care saw 8 total cases. This year, they've seen 28. We spoke with the doctor there about why he thinks it's happening.
You know, with the discussion of climate change, there's no question that our winters are not as cold. We have warmer winters now, which means that the season for ticks is longer. So now we're seeing ticks a lot earlier, as early as, in the end of March.
The doctor also says that there is a 50% increase in ticks that have the bacteria that leads to Lyme disease.
New developments in President Trump's trade war. He is now threatening to put a 35% tariff on Canadian goods. Trump claims Canada isn't stopping drugs entering the U.S. He shared this in a letter to Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Trump also cites Canada's retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. Canada, a major U.S. trading partner, brought $350 billion in American goods last year. Prime Minister Carney says Canada is committed to working with the U.S. on fentanyl trafficking. The new tariffs start August 1st.
And while the stock market ended in the green yesterday in overnight trading, they are down. Dow futures are down more than 300 points this morning. S&P futures down more than 40, and NASDAQ futures are down more than 130. We'll see how the markets end the week after the bell rings at 8:30 this morning.
President Trump fulfilled a campaign promise of no taxes on tips or overtime, but tax experts say workers won't feel relief in their next paycheck. Employers will still withhold federal taxes from tips and overtime through the end of 2025. Instead, eligible workers will have to wait until next tax season for either a bigger refund or a reduced tax payment.
There's no benefit right now. It's going to be when they file their tax return, and then do they meet the criteria? Do they have support?
The new federal law doesn't change tax law for individual states. State income taxes still apply to both tips and overtime. Protesters clashed with federal agents during an immigration raid at a marijuana farm north of Los Angeles. The agents set off smoke canisters to disperse the crowd. Glass House Farms says on social media that it was visited by officials from ICE and they, quote, fully complied with agent search warrants.
This morning, President Trump and the First Lady are headed to the site of the disaster in Texas. It's been a week now since catastrophic flooding changed lives. More than 120 are confirmed dead. More than 170 are still unaccounted for. And it's an all-hands-on-deck situation with more than 2,000 search and rescue crews down in Texas. Satellite imagery shows how Camp Mystic, where there were more than 700 children, was just reshaped by floodwaters. Since 2016, the camp has built at least 7 structures in or near the flood risk area outlined by FEMA flood maps. In 2020, the county adopted some rules to limit new builds in floodways to make sure the structures could survive a flood. There are several ways that you can help out the folks down in Texas and the flooding. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's going to take you right to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund. We also have an article on channel3000.com listing other donation pages for those who want to contribute to the relief efforts. Forward Madison will now share a league with the New York Cosmos. The Cosmos are an icon of American soccer. After years of hiatus, they're coming back. The city of Madison, New Jersey announced the club's going to join the league next year. The team's the country's most historic club and part of the big money league back in the 1970s. They even had Pele on the team at one point. The Cosmos have been on hiatus since the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, I'm not sure if Wisconsin is a lucky state or just has a dozen lucky folks, but 12 Powerball and Badger 5 players will split a jackpot of $146,000. Now, Quick Trip on Prairie Street in Boscobel and BP on Main Street in Stoughton sold the winning tickets. This is the 12th winning Badger 5 jackpot to exceed $100,000 this year in Wisconsin so far. In Onalaska, the winning $50,000 Powerball ticket was sold also at a Quick Trip, this one on Abbey Road. The estimated Powerball jackpot for this Saturday drawing is $234 million. So I don't know about you, Chris, but I think I might have to run to a Quick Trip.
It's getting up there.
Yes,
We're talking $200 million or so. You know, and we've seen some enormous jackpots in recent years, well over $1 billion. So I don't know. When it gets up to that point, you know, that's when I start thinking about it.
Maybe I'll try my luck.
But all right, good luck.
Right. Thank you, thank you. Let's check in now with meteorologist Jacob Montesano. What's coming up?
Well, we're going to see those thunderstorms later today. I'll track through the full forecast and the chance of severe weather coming up.
Also ahead in the 608, Hop Garden is expanding in southern Wisconsin. We're going to take you to their brand new 3rd location coming up in the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
All right, time to see what's going on in the 608 this morning. Hop Garden is expanding their business, opening up a 3rd location in Dane County.
Josh Sprider is live in Belleville this morning with an inside look. Good morning, Josh.
Hey, good morning, guys. They just opened up their doors to folks just last week, and this is a beautiful location. I can't wait for you to see a little bit more about it in the 608. I want to bring in Rich Joseph this morning. Rich, good morning to you.
Good morning and welcome.
Congratulations. I know this was a long time coming for you.
Yeah, I mean, this is our 11th year in business, and this is a 2-year planning process in this building. So yeah, it's been a long time.
So you guys are located right here along Main Street and in a building that has a lot of rich history for the community.
Yeah, so the building was built in 1917. In 1918, a Buick dealership started here, and we have pictures of that dealership on the walls here. The building was pretty much fully restored. The ceilings, the brick, the woodwork is 95% from that time.
That's so cool. And I mean, obviously, this is your third location. You guys really specialize in being in the small communities, and that's really what it's all about, is celebrating those locations.
Yeah, every building we are in has some historic areas. Paoli was an old mill back in the 1860s. Evansville was a post office in the late 1800s, and this building built in 1917.
So what was it about Belleville that you guys wanted to be in this community?
Well, I was in the dairy industry before this for about 20 years, and then we lived in town here. And then we actually bought a farm 5 miles south of here to grow our hops. And we just, Belleville's home for us. And we know the community well, they know us, and just the right opportunity popped up for us, and we took advantage of it.
And you guys have such a great location. Obviously, you have the inside space, but the outside space with a heck of a view out back.
Yeah, it's amazing. We're right on the side of the dam, so you get that nice water rushing noise. You got the entire view of Sugar River Park, which is a beautiful park. Lots of activities going on out there. That will get rejuvenated here in another year or two as well, adding more things. And yeah, it's just a great place to sit, have a beer at the end of the day, and relax.
Absolutely. You guys open just in time for the 4th of July, and it's kind of a phased opening. You guys are going to be entering or bringing food onto the menu too.
Oh yeah, we'll have food started here pretty soon. Next week we'll start a limited menu of our barbecue menu, which will be the same one we have in Evansville, and but we'll slowly bring that here. But what we also do a little bit different here is that we're allowing food from other local businesses to come in as well. So right next door is Lingonberry Llama. They have coffee, sandwiches. They'll have Babcock Hall ice cream, and you'll be able to enjoy that here. Johnny O's Pizza will deliver their pizza right to your table.
Oh my gosh.
And then Borland's is a famous fish fry that people come from all over for. And they were generous enough to say, yeah, we have excess capacity. People can go over there, get a fish fry on Friday nights. Come over here, listen to a band, sit outside, enjoy the fish fry outside with a band.
Love that. Well, it has to feel good to finally be here, be able to say that your doors are open now.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. The community is so super excited. Last week we had, hundreds of people here every day that we were open, and yeah, we're looking forward to great things.
Awesome. Well, Rich, thank you so much for the tour this morning. We appreciate it. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to learn more about Hop Garden, their third location here in Belleville, just go to the story up on channel3000.com, guys.
Boy, the place looks great, especially that view out back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Good food,
it's amazing.
views. Yeah, I mean, what's not to like?
All right, you check out what's on tap when you report back in half an hour, will you?
I'll do that.
Sounds good. All right, thanks, Josh. Josh is always looking for cool stuff in the 608. Got an idea for him? Reach out and let him know about it.
Time now 6:16. Let's check in with meteorologist Jacob Montesano live in Madison reporting with what you need to know today. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle, Renee. We are going to see the chance of those strong storms later in the afternoon and evening, but we also could see some storms Saturday. Much smaller chance, I should point out, but still a chance nonetheless. And then we are going to see sunny and warm conditions for Sunday and Monday. Not expect to see any rain for those 2 days. So looking at the severe weather outlook for today, it's for Madison and areas south. Places north of Madison still could see some rain, but the severe weather risk is pretty small. And even Madison, not terribly likely to see that severe weather. Looks like Madison will be the northernmost area that could see those strong storms, but places near the Illinois border have the best chance to see the strong storms today. And then for Saturday, we don't have an alert day in the forecast Saturday, but we still could see some severe weather, marginal risk for Madison and areas to the east. Now, as we take a look at the most likely hazards birds. The most likely hazard will be strong winds, but we also could see some hail and maybe even a few isolated tornadoes as well. Now, this is mostly Friday, but we did include Saturday. Even though Saturday the tornado risk is pretty small, we could see some strong winds with the storms tomorrow. Now, looking at the timing of all this, we're still going to see some rain for the next couple of hours, but it's not expected to be a lot until we get towards the afternoon hours. Around 2 to 3 is when it will start to move into our area, bringing in some heavy rain at the very least, but also, as I mentioned, could see those strong storms, especially for areas near the Illinois-Wisconsin border. And the most likely time frame for that will be around 4 to 7 p.m. as the system moves to the east-northeast. I definitely advise everyone, especially places further south, to tune into News 3 Now. During that time, we'll have live updates on any of the severe weather, and you could download our First Warn weather app for live radar. Now, as we get later in the evening, around 7 to 9, the severe weather looks to be wrapping up. Still could see some, especially in southeastern Wisconsin, but our area not expect to see too much during that time frame. But overnight, we're still going to see some rainfall. Not expected to be any strong storms, but we could see some thunderstorms, non-severe, I should point out, as they continue to impact our region overnight and even into Saturday. But Saturday morning will start out dry before we see some of those isolated showers and storms form. Again, Saturday, the storm chances are a lot less likely. Places to the west of Madison, those of you, especially near the Mississippi River, likely to be dry for much of Saturday. And these places that do see the storms to the east of Madison, only a small chance to see any severe weather with it. So not too big of an issue for Saturday, although we still could see some thunderstorms. And then Sunday, we're almost certainly going to be dry. And then we'll see temperatures warm up for the start of the work week. Monday and Tuesday will feature highs in the upper 80s. Then the storms return, which will allow temperatures to then cool a little bit, as we'll see highs in the 70s for a few days, maybe warming back up towards next weekend, but haven't seen highs in the 70s for quite a bit at this point.
Yeah, it'll feel real nice. A little bit of a relief from some of the warmth. All right, Jacob, we'll keep tracking those. We know you'll keep tracking those storms that could impact folks' weekends plans. Well, still ahead, Paul McCartney is going back on tour, his closest stops to Madison, and where you can get a free treat today.
And coming up in our next half hour, a special event for the family tonight where you can meet our very own Kyrion Lee.
And before we hit a break, here's a look at your gas prices on a Friday. We're back with the Talker segment right after this.
Welcome back. We have a beautiful dragonfly from the North Woods. Gwen sent this in. It's a golden one. Take a look at that. What a beauty.
Dragonflies are definitely beautiful, although anytime I see them flying around, they scare me a little bit. Even though I know they're not dangerous, they're just so big. They're just so big for like a bug.
And they're fast, but they're also like such a free-spirited creature. Like I think if I had to be a bug, it would be a dragonfly.
That's a good choice.
All right.
Yeah. Be sure to send those pictures in. We do love to see them.
More bug pictures, and we can decide what kind of bugs we want to be.
I mean, if we're going to do animals, you know my preference.
Well, hey, trending on this July 11th, 7-Eleven and the Slurpee. Today's your day to indulge in nostalgia. It's 7-Eleven Day, and over 8,000 locations are giving away free Slurpees. Slurpee's got kind of a cool backstory. It traces back to the 1950s when Omar Nelnick used car air conditioner parts to create a frozen beverage machine that came after his soda fountain broke. He stashed soda in the freezer, sparking the idea for the Icy. The innovation led to the birth of the Slurpee. 2 locations in Madison for 7-Eleven, one on University Avenue next to Mr. Car Wash, and then there's one off the Beltline near Todd Drive. It's like the Slurpee.
Growing up on 7-Eleven, we used to beg our mom if we could cross Ridgeland Avenue. That was the one to go to that 7-Eleven. We would
by
walk
Stony
there.
Creek?
No, it was the one in Chicago Ridge, not Oak
That's
Lawn.
not Ridgeland, that's Central, you're right.
Yes.
You too.
But
growing up in the city.
There was one that was a walk from my house right on 95th Street.
We had to beg to cross that busy street just so we can get a Slurpee
That's
from
so funny.
7-Eleven. Yeah.
Cool. All right, go get yours today. Sir Paul McCartney is stepping back on stage. He's got a 19-date North American tour coming up this fall. The closest he's coming to Madison, the 3 stops include Des Moines, Iowa, October 14th, Minneapolis, October 17th, and 2 shows in Chicago, November 24th and the 25th. Both of those will be at the United Center. This next series of concerts is considered part of his Got Back tour. Tickets go on sale Tuesday, July 15th, next Tuesday.
You know, live music, it changes lives. And Paul McCartney's, he's been around for a bit, so you better go see him if you're a fan while he's still here. I mean, it's life-changing.
One of the longest careers you can think of. I mean, he started when he was like, what, 21 almost?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's been everywhere.
I know, the legend. Another chance to see him one of these days. It's on my bucket list, for sure. All right, well, Jacob, we got some storms in the forecast on this alert day.
Yeah, we're going to see those storms later today, but the good news is that we'll especially be dry Sunday, with Saturday just a small chance of storms. But I'll continue having details still to come.
Keep it here. You're watching News 3 Now.
This morning, new developments in a week-long nurses' strike when the union and the hospital are set to meet.
Plus, more than a dozen without a home after a duplex fire. One resident shares her story.
And it's time for Kids Night at the Duck Pond. We've got everything you don't want to miss. Good Friday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Michelle Renee Quinn. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. It's an alert day.
Yeah, we got another alert day today after the storms pushed through last night. More rounds of storms are expected this evening. Let's check in with Jacob Montesano, who is here for Savannah this morning, tracking down, breaking down, what we can expect today. Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, we're going to be seeing possibly all modes of severe weather with strong winds, hail, maybe even a few isolated tornadoes. Now, the alert day is mostly for Madison and areas south. Places to the north of Madison, likely not to see any severe weather. But those of you near the Illinois border could definitely see some strong storms. And the time frame of this will be anywhere from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. But the most likely time will be around 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Now, as we take a look at the current radar, we're seeing some rain right now, but we're not expected to see anything too significant for the next couple of hours. We'll see some light showers, but heavier rain will come later in the day. Now, before I mention that, I do want to point out that we are seeing some foggy conditions this morning. Visibility down to 1/4 mile for some areas, so definitely just take it a little bit easy when you're heading to work this morning, as some visibilities are fairly low out there. Now, looking at the rainfall forecast, again, throughout the morning, some showers are possible, but we're not expected to see any thunderstorms, especially not any severe weather. But then we are going to see those storms develop later into the afternoon, and especially during the late afternoon, evening hours, we'll see those storms roll through the region, bringing in that possible severe weather. So I'll continue tracking these storms and also give you your weekend forecast coming up a bit later.
All right, thanks, Jacob. Hey, you want to track those storms yourself? Just use the free First Warn weather app. Get it wherever you get your apps. Happening today, Mercy Health Management and the Nurses Union are set to meet. Nurses at the Janesville Medical Clinic have been on strike since last Wednesday.
The union representing the nurses says the strike will continue until a deal is reached. Nurses say they are demanding wage increases, citing inflation as a significant factor. Mercy Health says they plan to implement a strategic plan to continue providing care to patients during the strike. Now, we are working to find out the exact time this meeting will take place, and we'll continue to provide updates online, on air, and on our Channel 3000 mobile app.
Now to continuing coverage of the double murder in Middleton. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office confirming the identities of the victims as David and Teresa Pabst. The Sheriff's Office says that their 25-year-old son, James, shot them sometime after 9:30 Monday. He used a handgun he got legally. They say that he left the scene and got all the way to Vernon County, where he killed himself during a standoff with law enforcement. Members of the Pabst family issuing a statement on the tragic news, saying that our family, like so many others, was deeply impacted by mental illness. We're devastated to have lost our brother James to his debilitating illness. And for those of you who may have walked a similar journey yourself or with someone in your life, please don't give up. Please seek help. If your loved one is in crisis, there are resources available. You can call the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. If you're calling 911, make sure you ask for a crisis intervention team officer.
This morning, Madison Fire is investigating an East Side fire that has left 13 people without a home. Markeisha Thompson has lived in the duplex for about 6 years. On Wednesday night, a fire spread from her neighbor's unit to hers, leaving only the charred remains of their home. The mother of 3 says this was a traumatic experience. She's now left only with the clothes on her back.
It's a nightmare. You're running out your house at 10 o'clock at night with don't know what's going on, with smoke just coming out, like don't know if you're gonna make it or not.
A GoFundMe has now been set up to help her rebuild. The fire killed 8 kittens and left $250,000 worth of damages.
New this morning, a barn in the town of Otsego is a total loss after a large fire. Fall River Fire responding to around 1:45 yesterday morning. They say the fire was seen from the night sky miles away. When they got there, they found a barn engulfed with a house 50 feet away. They called in units from surrounding areas, including Sun Prairie, DeForest, and Portage. The fire department says the barn and an additional building outside are a total loss, and the people living in the house near the barn say no damage inside the house, but they do have some damage to the outside and their windows. No animals hurt. No animals were in the barn at the time, and no one was injured.
In-state tuition, it will soon start going up at the Universities of Wisconsin system. That's after the Board of Regents voted in favor of UW President Jay Rothman's proposal. This will increase resident undergrad tuition by up to 5% for the 2025-2026 academic year. He says the increase is needed after a decade-long tuition freeze and what he refers to as lagging state aid. Now here's how this will affect you. For UW Madison, the resident undergrad and segregated fees for the 2025-26 school year will be $12,166. For Whitewater, that number is $8,819. For La Crosse, that's $10,360.
This morning, President Trump and the First Lady are headed to the site of the devastating flooding in Texas that has now killed more than 120 people.
And more than 170 are still unaccounted for. It's been 1 week since the catastrophic flooding changed the lives of those in Texas, and it's all hands on deck still as more than 2,000 search and rescue crews try to find anyone still missing after last week's disaster. They say most of those searching either are or know someone who's been affected. Alden Towler rode out the flood in his attic with his mom, a neighbor, and her 1-year-old daughter.
Having a 1-year-old infant in your arms as a mom, I just can't even imagine what she was going through.
Satellite images show Camp Mystic, where there were more than 700 children reshaped by floodwaters. Since 2016, the camp has built at least 7 structures in or near the flood risk area, outlined by FEMA flood maps. In 2020, the county adopted rules to limit new builds and floodways to make sure structures could survive a flood.
If you'd like to help the flooding victims, you can scan the QR code on your screen right now. That'll take you to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund. We also have an article on channel3000.com that lists other donation pages for those who want to contribute to the relief efforts. And national news this morning, the White House denying that a new letter seeks to lay the groundwork for ousting Fed Chair Jerome Powell. In it, the Office of Management and Budget alleges that Powell lied to Congress about the Fed headquarters renovations. President Trump has said in the past that he wants Powell out, that's so he can appoint someone new who will cut interest rates sooner. Supreme Court rulings, though, forbid firing Powell for that reason. Analysts say that the stock market could tank as a result. They say that Trump would need to find some other cause or convince Powell to quit. Powell says the board probably could have cut interest rates by now if Trump hadn't imposed sweeping tariffs.
Construction is entering its final stages at the SSM Health Outpatient Center in Sun Prairie. The project's construction manager says the facility is focused on sustainability, energy efficiency, and promoting improved health and wellness for staff and patients. It features one of the region's largest carport solar panel arrays with more than 1,900 panels sheltering the facility's parking.
We also have taken some of the reclaimed wood from trees that we unfortunately had to take down on the site, and we're repurposing them in interior features such as a wooden bench underneath our staircase in the main lobby. The registration desks will also have a veneer from that wood as well.
The 90,000 square foot facility is scheduled to open for patient care in September.
Well, the Madison Public Market facing another setback. The market's foundation announcing it's seen delays once again in finalizing leases and improving the building to meet public health standards. The market's been in the works for 2 decades. It was set to open on November 1st. Now the foundation is planning for tenant construction in the fall, with the grand opening targeted for early next year.
Plenty of events coming up these next couple of days, and with the busy weekend ahead, you can expect some road closures. For Lafayette de Marquette, South Ingersoll is now closed between East Main and East Wilson Street until Monday. South Brewerly will close at noon today from East Main Street to Capitol City Trail. That's until 10 p.m. Sunday. And also this weekend, Art Fair on the Square returns. That means Capitol Square, along with the 100 blocks of the surrounding streets, will all close today starting at 3 p.m. They will not reopen until 9:30 p.m. on Sunday. You can find more closures this weekend by searching for the story on channel3000.com.
Well, tonight is time for Kids Night at the Duck Pond, and because of yesterday's weather, the Mallards are going to play a single admission doubleheader.
And those gates will open at 3:45 this afternoon. The first game will start at 4:05, the second at 6:30. Remember, our very own Kyrion Lee will be throwing out that first pitch. There will be a free gift for the first 2,000 kids. SSM Health will share the Time for Kids digital device guide, and then we'll have a fun digital device safety quiz where kids can team up with their parents and answer questions for a chance to win some prizes. Former Badger and NFL star Melvin Gordon will be signing autographs from 5 to 7 p.m.
All right, that again is tonight. First game just after 4. The second is at 6:30, and don't forget to stick around for the post-game fireworks, sponsored by News 3 Now.
Absolutely. And once again, those first 2,000 people, regardless of the weather, the first 2,000 kids get that free prize, right, Jacob? So even though the weather won't be great.
Yeah, it's not looking too great for that time frame. Might dip south of Madison, but I'll have more details right after the break.
And we're in Belleville this morning checking out the brand new location for Hop Garden. We're going to show you that location and also some of the brews and why this is the place to be. Coming up next live in the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Good morning, everybody. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. We are going to be seeing those alert day for possible strong storms today. Smaller storm chance will come on Saturday with some sunny skies expected for Sunday and Monday. Now, as we take a look at the severe weather outlook for today, it's mostly going to be for places south of Madison. Places north still could see some rain, but the severe weather risk is a lot less. In fact, further north around the Dells, it's pretty much 0 today. But those of you near the Illinois border definitely could see some strong storms. And then for Saturday, we don't have an alert day in the forecast for Saturday, but we still could see some minor severe weather for Madison and areas to the east. As far as the hazards go, most likely to see strong winds, but we also could see some hail with the thunderstorms, and even a few isolated tornadoes are possible. So definitely stay tuned to News 3 Now during that time frame for live severe weather coverage. Now, looking at the timing of all of this, we are going to see just a few showers throughout the morning into the early afternoon, but nothing is expected to be too heavy until we get to around 2 to 3 p.m. where we'll see those showers and thunderstorms kind of begin moving into our area from the southwest and then pushing to the east northeast from there. The most likely time frame, especially for those of you in Greene and Rock counties, will be around 4 to 7 p.m. Again, these storms are going to possibly produce strong winds, hail, and maybe even a tornado or two, but they're also going to produce some pretty heavy rain at times. Now, these will continue to push to the east and northeast from there. Severe weather kind of wrapping up around 7 to 9 p.m., but we're still expected to see some showers and thunderstorms throughout tonight with maybe a few heavy rain spots, but we're really not expecting any severe weather during the overnight hours. Still not entirely is at a 0% chance, but for the most part, the extent of the severe weather will be very minimal. And then for Saturday, we'll see a few isolated showers and thunderstorms form, mainly for Dane County and places to the east. Again, bringing in a very small chance of some severe weather, but not going to see widespread severe weather for Saturday, but some rain is still possible. And then we'll be dry by Saturday night, which the dry conditions will then continue for all of Sunday and pretty much all of Monday as well. And then the rain chances are going to increase once we get towards the middle of next week. So looking at the full 7 to 10 day forecast, Temperatures will be we'll see highs in the lower 80s the next couple of days, then upper 80s for Monday and Tuesday, and then those storms for the middle of next week are going to cause the temperature to drop a little bit, as we're only going to have highs in the 70s. And in general, it's very good to look at the 10-day forecast and not see any days that are very hot. No 90s in the forecast, which will lead to no days with the heat index value near 100.
And we are hoping for not 100, so as far away as we can stay.
Let's hope we continue that streak for sure.
Absolutely, yep.
All right, again, and those storm chances for this evening, I mean, really, it's Madison and to the south. There's a chance that they stay to the south and miss Madison entirely, but, you know, folks should prepare if they're doing anything this evening that we have a decent chance of some storms.
Yeah, and although Madison may see the rain stay south, it also still is possible that we do see just some minor severe weather here. Although for those of you, like I said, near the Illinois border, that's the best chance of those strong storms. Right. Saturday, if you have any outdoor plans, just bring an umbrella. Although it may be heavy, it will be pretty brief if it rains.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, Jacob. Staying busy in the First Warn Weather Center this morning. All right, let's see what's going on in the 608 today. Josh Sprider checking out a new spot in Belleville that's serving up some brews.
Yes, it is. Good morning, Josh. What do you got for us this morning?
Hey, good morning, you two. All right, Chris, you asked for a little color earlier, so we've poured some brews here on the high top table. It's Friday, we're ready for the weekend, and why not check out the brand new location of Hop Garden here in Belleville. We're lucky enough to have Rich Joseph joining us this morning. Rich, thanks for having us out.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
You know, congratulations on this beautiful space. This was a long time coming for you, and this is truly home for you as well.
Yeah, we've moved here in '92, and so our kids are actually kind of moving back here, and I have a son-in-law that teaches at the school, so definitely home for us.
You know, this is a beautiful space. What really inspired you into opening up this location and, what we're seeing right now?
Well, I think what really sold me on it, one was the big open space that it had the possibilities for, but the other is the dam that is just outside on our patio.
Yeah, let's head on out there because this space is incredible inside and outside, but you guys really capitalized on what this area brings.
Yeah, so one of the things that when I talked with the folks that actually bought the building and renovated it is I said there's two spots in town, and we walked over here and I showed them the dam. There was a garage here that was blocking the view completely, and nobody ever comes back here because there was nothing back here except a parking lot and a garage. And so we walked back here and sat there for a while, and they're like, yeah, this is the best spot in Belleville.
This is so amazing, and capitalizing in this community too. This is what makes Belleville so special, is obviously the Sugar River.
Yeah, there's a lot of outdoor activity things that are going on. Sugar River Outfitters has canoes and kayaks out on the lake, and special trips down the river, actually from here down to our farm, which is by road about 5 miles, but it's about a 2.5 hour canoe ride, which is perfect for a canoe ride. So it actually takes the canoes out about a half mile from our farm.
Oh, that's so cool. So you have a beautiful stage out here. Obviously, you guys love to have live music too.
Yep, we've been doing live music for a long time. Right now, with the 3 locations, we're going to have over 400 different shows this year. In Paoli, we have music Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And in Evansville, that's the same schedule. Here, we're just going to be starting out doing music on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So you guys just opened up for the 4th of July. You're going to be bringing food onto the menu here shortly, too.
Yep. So we have a barbecue menu that we've been working on for years. We had it at one of the kitchens in Paoli. We've been doing it in Evansville for the last 2 years. Smoked brisket, chicken, pork butt, ribs. People seem to like it, so we'll keep doing that menu.
You know, what is it that keeps you going? Obviously, this is your 3rd location. You guys are super excited to be here. What keeps you wanting to do this more often?
Well, I think it's because of the group, our team that we developed at Hop Garden. Not just the people that work for us, but their friends and their family they come and help out too. So we'd really developed a real big community. And each location has a little bit of their own community. But they all do come together and help, and it's our whole team that keeps me going.
And right here on Main Street in Belleville, I mean, this is going to be the place to be, but you guys are kind of capitalizing on that community feel too.
Yeah, we want this to be a place where you don't just come once every so often. We want you back here several times a week. We'll have our food menu. We're working with the next door restaurants, Johnny O's Pizza, Lingonberry Llama, Borland's for Friday night fish fries. So there's not just one thing to do here, not one thing to eat here. We can have big groups. We got tables that fit 10 people. We can put more tables together. We got a lot of area, big outdoor area. So you can, instead of having a party at your house, just tell them you're all going to meet at the Hop Garden.
That's going to be the place to be. All right, Rich, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
you having us out. And if you'd like to learn more about Hop Garden and when you can check it out, their entertainment, just go to the story up on channel3000.com. This view, it can't get any better, guys. And you probably can hear the dam back there this morning.
Sure
this
can.
is so special for Belleville.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Josh. Coming up in the morning sprint, the candy and cereal brand set to join forces.
Got a birthday to celebrate today. We want to wish a happy 3rd to Gabriel. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great one. We're back with the sprint next.
Happy.
Time for the morning sprint.
Mercy Health Management and the Nurses Union are set to meet today. This as the nurses at the Janesville Medical Clinic have been on strike since last Wednesday. The union representing the nurses says the strike will continue until a deal is reached. Nurses say they're demanding wage increases, citing inflation as a significant factor. Mercy Health says they plan to implement a strategic plan to continue providing care to patients during the strike.
We now know more about a murder in Middleton this week. The Dane County Medical Examiner confirming the identities of the victims as David and Teresa Pabst. The sheriff's office says their 25-year-old son, James, shot them sometime after 9:30 Monday. He used a handgun he got legally. They say he left the scene and got all the way to Vernon County, where he killed himself during a standoff with law enforcement.
Two major names in candy and cereal plan to join forces. The Ferrero Group announced it will buy WK Kellogg in a deal valued $3.1 billion. Kellogg is known for branding, including Corn Flakes, Fruit Loops, and Special K. Ferrero owns Tic Tacs, Nutella, and Rocher chocolates.
And here's the final look at your 10-day forecast. Storms today, small chance of storms Saturday, but then we are going to dry up by the time we get to Sunday and Monday.
CBS Mornings is next.